Now, speaking about everything we're experiencing at the world at the moment, and of course, it's going to be something that will be remembered for decades and years to come. But it's not the first time there's been a disaster, because for a Leicester charity boss, he's using skills he learned during 9/11 terror attack to deal with the COVID-19 lockdown. Parvez Bhatty is the chairman of Leicester Children's Holidays, and he joins me now. Good morning, Parvez.
Good morning, Jimmy.
So just take us back to 2001 when you were working for a bank and you had colleagues who were based in New York.
That's right, yes. I used to work for an American bank. I was based out of London, but used to support the organisation in Asia. And we would regularly go to New York to our headquarters for meetings. And on one occasion, we were all supposed to go, but I decided not to go for some reason, and sent some of my team to go. And on that particular morning, we were in an office having a meeting next to the trading room, and early in the morning, we heard lots of noise on the trading floor. And then I remember one of my colleagues rushing in and saying, "You need to come out and have a look at what's going on." And just like everyone in the world, we witnessed what was happening on the TVs. And then suddenly we had to go back into reactive mode and start planning. So it was the same for everyone.
Well, it was definitely an iconic moment. I can picture and visualise exactly where I was when I saw the second plane hit the Twin Tower when it was on the news, because at that point all the film crews and cameras had got sort of set up in position. You could see it go in. It was just such a terrifying time, wasn't it? It was so bizarre, and the news that followed after that. So this happens in your situation. You're now working out contingency plans. What happens next?
Well, we're fortunate. We've got lots of good trustees who've got lots of experience. We've gone into crisis mode, just like any organisation, and that's some of the skills that hopefully I pull across from my banking area. In that, when you have a problem like COVID-19, you've just got to follow 3 or 4 basic principles, and you've got to follow them very thoroughly. And if you do them consistently, you will, rather than panic and panicking and making the wrong decisions, you just take collective decisions on a day-by-day basis. So it's important the moment these problems happen, you have a clear team communication structure, and everybody understands their roles. But the most important thing is, just like every organisation, you have to quickly revisit your strategies. So we've all got plans on a daily basis. We've all got plans for the next quarter. But the most important thing is to decide right now what's important, what isn't important, what is noise, what's not relevant, and plan accordingly.
Well, because, of course, you had to transfer the whole of the bank's operation to London, and now you've managed to, having had this experience, put your charity... the experience from that into your charity to sort things out in this lockdown. So, okay, categorically then, when you have a major crisis and people will be going through thinking about their lifestyle and work and what they're going to do, how they're going to get through this, what are the key things that you can pass on from your experience and the things you're doing now with your charity that can help all of us?
There are 4 things that are, if you go to these training courses, people are told they are basically step 1, have a crisis management team who know what to communicate. Step 2.
So could that be family members?
It could be anyone. It could be in a small organisation. This could apply to not only a charity, but it could apply to a large organisation or small family-run organisation. You've just got to understand who's going to make the decisions.
Okay, and do we have... So would you then issue different things that you could do for each team member, say family member or friends group or whatever it is? You'd issue them different things to lead on? Yes,
but and during a crisis, what tends to happen is there's lots of different differing views, and a lot of time is wasted, and maybe possibly the wrong decisions are made. So someone clearly needs to be accountable. So that's where the chair or the CEO or someone needs to be say, this is the direction we're going to take.
Okay, and then what do you do?
The next thing is, as I mentioned earlier, you need to quickly reappraise all the work you're doing and have a plan for the day. So when we all heard about the lockdown about 3 weeks ago, it was important everybody decided what they were going to do that day, and then after that, what they were going to do that following week. and at most have just a month's plan in place. Forget 3 months, just plan for the next month. And now we're halfway through a lockdown. You should be planning for the next 2 months. So all you do is you focus on the next few months. And then the last two things are you've got to think about your staff's welfare. It's important that they know how to work remotely. You reach out to them and you give them the right tools. And last but not least, we forget that any organization needs its suppliers and partners. What we tend to do in a situation like this, we think about ourselves, but we forget when we come out of this lockdown, which we will, we can see the light, we need to take our partners and suppliers to the other side together.
Yeah.
So you need to reach out to them.
That's good. I love that. Very, very good. Listen, I could talk to you so much more, Parvez, and about the charity and how you're going. We'll do that another time. You're right to hang on for a bit if we come back to you, because I want to ask you about the charity itself, because you've been so useful with the tips. I just want to make sure we know how the charity's doing and the direction you're going to be going in, having gone through all these criteria. But first, it's 8:22. Weather-wise, Alex, what can you tell us? Good morning.
Well, it looks as though today is a bit of a chilly start first thing this morning, but there should be plenty of sunshine around as that cloud continues to thin and break through the rest of the day. You can expect more in the way of sunshine with highs of 12 degrees Celsius. After a fine evening, tonight will be dry and mainly clear, but under those clear skies it will be chilly with lows of around 0 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow looks set to be fine and mostly sunny with only gentle winds in places and highs of around 17 degrees Celsius. Any patchy fog and mist will lift on Thursday morning to leave some sunny spells for much of the day, but there is just a chance of some isolated showers. A similar picture on Friday with sunny spells and just a chance of a shower here and there. It'll be mainly dry on Saturday, but quite cloudy.
The sound of Leicester.
Hello, my name's Andrew Furlong. I'm the Medical Director here at Leicester Hospitals. At this time, it's only natural that we're all feeling concerned about what COVID-19 means for ourselves and our loved ones. Our staff continue to go above and beyond on a daily basis to care for patients with COVID-19, and we are discharging patients on a daily basis. The most important thing that you can do to help us and to protect yourself is to stay at home and respect the social isolation guideline given by the government, and to wash your hands with soap and water on a regular basis throughout the day. Thank you.
Here when you need us most.
BBC Radio Leicester.
24 minutes past 8. A very good morning to you. It's Jimmy at breakfast with you till 10. Now, we've been talking to Parvez Bhatty, who's the chairman of Leicester Children's Holidays, who has been through the experience of 9/11 in New York and moving a business operation from New York to the UK. He's now, as I say, chair of Leicester Children's Holidays, and in a similar situation as with regards to taking that forward, considering COVID-19. And we've just heard his 5 key ways to manage a crisis. But in terms of the charity itself, Parvez, will kids be able to have a holiday at all this year? And what's your main objectives for the charity?
Yes, of course. Firstly, we're very grateful to the Chancellor for making this payment that he's going to make to charities. So hopefully we'll be able to benefit from that, because we provide holidays to vulnerable children. We still have plans to send children this year. Our plan was to send 80 children on a holiday this year in August. 40 would have gone during the first week of August, and 40 will go during the third week of August. We've had about 60 nominations, but we're in constant contact with head teachers and teaching staff. So, yes, we're still planning, but we're waiting for government advice.
Well, Parvez, thank you so much for joining us here on BBC Radio Leicester this morning. Good luck with the charity moving forward, and thanks for all those bits of information you've given us. Very, very helpful.